Okay, we're going live now. We're going live now, and I'll definitely hit the subscribe button. So I want people. Hi guys, we're live. We got Amy with us. We're gonna get started. We're gonna play the intro and get started here if it'll play. Yeah. Okay. So it should be. Yeah. Oh, we already got. All right. Perfect. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Typical Skeptic Podcast. I'm really excited to see everybody tonight. We got an awesome show for you guys, and it's gonna be really cool. Let me see here if I can pull up my notes. And did they take my? They took my notes away. Wow. Oh, well, here it is. Okay. Tonight I have with me my good friend Amy Loisel, or Miss Loisel. We're going to be talking about syncretism, world religions, targeting, and we'll be talking about raising funds for the Full Disclosure Now conference. And I wrote a little blurb about it. I wrote tonight on the Typical Skeptic podcast. I welcome my good friend Miss Loisel for a special deep dive into syncretism and hidden connections between world religions, ancient history, Vedic texts. Amy is a dedicated student of syncretism under Santos Bonacci and has extensively studied how spiritual wisdom has been encoded across cultures. She will share insights on spiritual sovereignty, how syncretism can empower you in these transitional times, and what it means to navigate the reality as a targeted individual. She got a confirmation of being a targeted individual by the royals, by the late Rainetta Jones, regarding her, targeting by royal bloodline factions. We'll also be discussing the Full Disclosure Now conference happening July 15th to the 18th in St. Petersburg, Florida. And we might do a live birthday reading for someone because Amy's been starting to do that. So, and don't miss this one if you're ready to decode the matrix and reclaim your sovereignty. And a little bit more about my guest. Amy is a student of Santos Bonacci Syncretism Society, researcher of world religions, Vedic texts, ancient history, spiritual sovereignty, advocate of a freedom activist, confirmed target individual by the late Rainetta Jones, and committed to raising consciousness and raising awareness and revealing hidden knowledge to help humanity navigate spiritual warfare and the awakening process. And I'd like to give her a big warm welcome back to the show. Amy, thanks so much for coming back on. How are you?
Hello, Rob. Thank you so much for having me back on. I am doing all right. I'm so happy to be here. Yeah, thank you for having me on. Thank you for inviting me today. Um, and I'm excited to talk about the topics that we set out to talk about.
Yeah. And we're going to get into the Full Disclosure Now conference, right? I want to try to raise funds for that, but that's not going to be the full thing. We're going to talk a little bit about syncretism because you've talked about this extensively with Santos Bonacci, right? Correct?
Yes. And actually, how I found out about Rob's podcast was because Mr. Astrotheology, that's his handle name, Mr. Santos Bonacci, he goes by Mr. Astrotheology. If you want to look him up on YouTube or Patreon, he's doing more Patreon stuff these days. Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Mexico time, he does a teaching each week. So if you want to join in on that, Rob, and whoever's on the audience, that might be cool tomorrow too, and we can let him know we gave him this mention today as well. He's really cool, people. He's completely revolutionized the entire world in today's modern day and age with his syncretism, with reviving it from the greats all throughout time, and also piecing together. He says his school is better than Plato's school back in the day. So that's how good he believes his school to be. And I can see it. I was telling him how when I met Micah Dunk, because he's local, he'll be a speaker at the conference, guys.
Yeah, I met
So
Mike in person last year.
you did
He's
at the
really cool.
conference. Where
Yeah,
did you meet him? In Tampa?
at the conference last year. Yeah,
Okay, great. Was that in St. Pete as well?
yeah. It was a
Okay, I
really
met
cool.
him right next door in Tampa.
That's cool. Yeah, and you know, I have had Mike on my show. You know, he talked about astrotheology, and he's a really cool guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he worked with Santos and did some shows with him. Somebody mentioned him in the comments. I looked him up and then realized that he was local to Tampa, and I thought so. I messaged him and I was like, "Hey, well, I'd like to meet you." And I got his book, a signed copy. I just met him at like some kava or vape store or something in Tampa, in South Tampa, and because we're both local. And yeah, and that was about it. We just talked for a little while. So yeah, maybe I'll see him at the conference. That will be cool. And Rob as well. We all want to get some donations for Rob today to try to get him to the conference, or not try to. He's coming. We're
Yeah.
going to Brian's conference, and if you don't know about it, then definitely check the link at Rob's podcast so you can see the link for the conference and also the donation link for Rob. And so hopefully he can do some emceeing again this year like he did last year. So that would be cool. Are you excited about the conference, Rob?
Yeah, there's some really good people this year. You know, it's going to be you know, Brad Olson, Miles Johnson, John Charles Ryan, Matthew Mornian, Penny Bradley. I mean, Rion DeRuin. It's like an all-star lineup again. It's really, you know, Brian really pulled together, like, you know, an all-star list of
I beg your
people. So
pardon.
it should be. I mean, I don't have the thing of the list up in front of me, but like, it's well worth it, guys. It's you know, it's and then like, you know, what I plan to do is I plan to try to get you guys, you know, the best footage possible. And I thought all my footage from last year was lost, but it's not lost at all. Basically, you just have to go to my Odyssey channel, because I was syncing all my YouTube videos to Odyssey. So all my, you know, all the archive of my old videos that got taken down off YouTube, those are all on Odyssey. You can go watch those now, you know, and all the footage from the conference last year, you know, the party at the end of the conference, like me driving home from the conference, like me on the beach, me showing the resort, you know, if you want to see what it's like there, you know, I have side interviews with people, you know, interviews from the conference. You know, Brian let me take snippets of the conference. I tried to get as much footage as I can. So if you're on the fence about going to the conference, you know, you can watch my videos from last year. Just go to my audio channel, Odyssey channel. You have to go back about a year, you know, because it was July of last year, and you'll see exactly what it's like. And you know what it is like, you know, I really want to go because you really get to unite with Soul Tribe. You really get to meet, you know, all the people that you'll vibe with, and you will vibe with all these people because everybody's really nice, and you know, they're just like us, you know, and you know, it was interesting for me because I had interviewed like, you know, 90% of the people, so it was really cool to meet them in person, and a lot of them are even cooler in person than they are, and you know, online. So yeah, it's an experience for real. It definitely is, you know, and I wish everybody could go, you know, like I really do, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you just, like you mentioned, you've had a lot of people on your podcast. You just, like you mentioned Brad Olson first. You literally just had him on your podcast like a few days ago, you know. So a lot of these people, and then Miles, like a lot of these people you've had on your podcast. So that's really cool. And like Rainetta Jones, you had her on your podcast, and that was the first video that I watched of yours was with Rainetta Jones. Santos Bonacci had sent it maybe on Instagram or WhatsApp or whatever. He just was like, because he knows I have implants in my body. And so it was on that video of hers where she's talking about where she's getting these implants out of her body. And so there's hope. I'm actually on some medicine that I put on the back of my neck. And this is from a world-renowned doctor who actually is in Sarasota, Florida. And I want you to go to him, Rob, while you're in town. And he was either the first or the second doctor in Florida to give out medical cannabis. And he did 30 clinical studies. And anyway, this is supposed to disrupt the signal from the implants to the brain, from the brainstem. It's called GABA, from like this Sun Pharmacy or something in Sarasota. Anyway, I put it 3 times a day on the back of my neck. Someone I know, my father's friend, a family friend, his mother did heart surgery, and she thought something was put into her. After 6 months of taking this cream, it made it the implants not work in her heart anymore. That whatever the cardiologist put in her heart. So it does work for some people. So, and there's multiple different things. They gave me like 3 or 4 different things. One was a tincture, and then 3 were topical. So yeah, there is some hope for us, for people with implants like Rainetta Jones, who surgically had them removed, which eventually that's to come. And she did give me some instructions on that. The last email I sent her was unanswered due to her death, because every other message she answered. Um, and so, yeah, I would definitely say to check out Rob's videos with Rainetta Jones. He has about, would you say, like 18 of them, Rob? Or
16 on Rumble, Yeah, 16. I miss Renetta too. I really do. I miss her a lot. Like, I really do. I wish like I could see her again, like I don't know. It was she was a special person. She really was.
yeah. Well, she definitely touched a lot of people's lives. I can certainly see that, and yeah, and mine as well. So it's nice to have found out about her, and you as well. That was the video that I found out about you a few like last year, literally like less than a year ago. And so it's so nice because now we get to talk and hang out. It'll be good to meet you in person and not just like over the phone or over videos. Doing podcasts and stuff. It'll be nice to, like you said, meet everybody. It's like a soul tribe, and I feel like I'm so new to all this. Like I've been targeted by my royal ex-boyfriend for 17 years now. It's just almost 17 years. It's pretty much. So I'm just trying to figure out how to cope in this life and getting help as well. So meeting Rob and this community of people, and I want to give help as well, like whatever I know. So meeting this doctor in Sarasota, that is helping patients, people that have implants. I think that's important for people to know. So, yeah, about the syncretism. So, um, so actually, I watched one of Micah Dunk's videos, and he said he watched Santos Bonacci's "Know Thyself" Part 2 video, and that's the video that my brother told me to watch for like a year. It took me so long to watch it, and then I finally watched it because it was like part 1 of 3 or 4, and they're each like 3 hours, so it took me a while to actually watch the first one. But he does a video on it, and it's the exact same one that I watched first, I think, unless I watched part 1, but I thought I watched part 2 first as well. Anyway, it's called Know Thyself, and not the one that he just did, but a series from years ago, because this was over 10 years ago when I watched it. And he said he literally checked himself in a mental institute because he lost his mind because he knew the Bible so well, and the astrotheology part of it, the syncretism that Santos Bonacci was talking, was like a key that unlocked so much for him that he literally had to check himself in a mental institute because his whole world was like coming, like it was almost like a veil had been taken down. And I get it. That's what Santos Bonacci is going to do for you, like that's why when I told him about how Micah Dong's book, like, literally has him like as the second person on that he mentions. I think it was like first or second person that he mentions as a thank you, as a appreciation. Santos says, yeah, I have 100 books at my brother's place with that are all dedicated to me, because literally he's changed that many people's lives with his syncretism, that there's that many books dedicated to, some of them just only him, like, I mean, and so I encourage everybody to do their research on syncretism. And what syncretism is, it's kind of putting all the disciplines, all the science, all the scientific, not just scientific knowledge, it could be anything. It could be music, it could be anything and everything, all learning together.
Yeah,
And
can I say something, Amy? It says
yeah,
here, I just put it in ChatGPT while you were talking. It says it's the blending or unification of different religions, spiritual and philosophical systems into a cohesive, holistic understanding. It says the recognition that all religions and spiritual teachings share a common thread and originate from a single source of truth, expressed through different cultural lenses. And it's also a system that decodes hidden truths within religion, astrology, sacred geometry, and natural law to reclaim personal sovereignty and spiritual understanding. And then the key elements are astrotheology, sacred geometry, hermetic principles, alchemy, language decoding, and I can get into each one of these, integration, and then what says why it matters. It bridges science and spirituality by finding patterns across traditions, helps reclaim spiritual sovereignty in a system designed to keep people spiritually fragmented, provides tools to decode matrix systems and hidden control structures using ancient wisdom, and supports practical spirituality by showcasing connections between astrology, numerology, and personal life cycles. Would you agree with all that?
yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot. If you slow that down and really think about that, it's a lot. And it's you this could literally take lifetimes to master. Um, when you get down to it, like Santos will say, it's all red shift, blue shift. It's all Tauruses. It's all, the Taur and the bull. All is Atum. He'll say these things and he'll explain it. And it's like, he talks about how you can make worlds from your words. You world them. It's just wild. The existence that we live in, and just so people can understand, because I think Jordan Maxwell, like a lot of people know Jordan Maxwell, like Micah Donk was one of his, like he was calling him and talking to him right before he was losing his mind up till death. He was like talking to him each week, like he was good friends with him. So because I know he knew astrotheology, and a lot of people know about Jordan Maxwell. And Jordan Maxwell said about Santos Bonacci, he said, and I heard this on a video of Jordan saying it with Santos. It was a video together, and he said, look, Santos I've been looking for this my entire life. And what I've been searching for my entire life, now that he was at kind of towards the end of his life, he was saying Santos has it. Like if there's anybody that has this key, or the whatever it is, syncretism, like Santos knows it. So Jordan Maxwell was referring people to Santos Bonacci.
That's huge. I was a huge fan of Jordan Maxwell. I watched a lot of his stuff. I
Yeah,
really
that's why
did.
I wanted to mention that, just so people can understand, like, um, how big of a presence he is in the syncretism community. And although he wants to retire, it's like, no, we still need your teachings, like, because he's a targeted individual. He's been targeted for just one more year than me, for about 18 years now. So, and that's because he's teaching. That's because of his teachings. They literally don't want people knowing about this. Like, Rainetta Jones just lost her life from giving these teachings to people. I mean, would you say that's probably about right, Rob? Like, maybe
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why she was targeted to the point where, like her implants. I saw a little message that she posted, and it was like, they're going at me hard, and if I don't make it through this, they and then it was blanked out me, So, when you think about that, she was letting us know she's not going to the hospital, but they're screwing with their implants. And I know what she's talking about when they act up with implants, because they've been acting up with my implants, and it's been really bad. So that's why I figured out this cream situation, which hopefully, me finding out about this doctor, and this is new stuff, he did the 30 clinical studies and trials and different things and came up with this himself. So this is all pretty new. You can't get this in a regular pharmacy, like people travel from all over the world to see this doctor. But yeah, surgical removing it can be one way as well. So
Yeah. Do you think, have you come across any doctors that can kind of, there was a doctor that was removing like alien implants back in the '90s and early 2000s. His name was Roger Lear, because that's when, like, like aliens were abducting people, and they were putting implants into people, and they actually found, implants that were tied to radio frequencies. So what Rainetta was right when she said that a lot of these now these radio frequencies can emit out to deep space, or they can emit to under the sea. Rainetta says, these go back to these report back to the FCC. So somehow the FCC is tied into like the Illuminati and the aliens or whatever, and it's all one big conglomerate of like horse shit, and targeting, because like this shouldn't happen to anybody. Nobody should have physical implants inside their body and having to deal with like stuff like that. Yeah, Jason's right. Yeah, there was Jason. Jason said there's a documentary called Patient 17. There was about Dr. Roger Lear. Yeah, he was famous for removing implants, and Daryl Sims does it too. Daryl Sims was removing alien implants as well. But like. I think the implants are also, I think that, the targeting implants are also alien technology. I think that's where the government or whoever's doing the targeting got the implants from. They got the technology from, aliens, because I think that's where a lot of our technology came from,
Absolutely, all throughout time. I was just listening to like these Naga. There was Naga Mundis or whatever. Their third eye would crystallize the light. It would glow at night, and these Naga locas. There's worlds of snakes. Like,
what's that mean? What's that mean?
Naga means snake in Sanskrit.
I know that, but what's a Naga Mundi? What was that?
Oh,
What's that?
Mundi is okay. So I just watched this video by Sadhguru, and it's okay. On, say, a cobra, I'm not sure if it's a king cobra or just a cobra, you have a third eye, and their eyes are very active, their third eye. That's how, like, when I was at a meditation center, I'll explain what happened with that later, but that was a giant snake. So what happens is all the crystallized liquid comes to the third eye, just like we have a pineal gland. It's not like a regular eye. It's got liquid like crystals that have, like, I think some type of piezoelectric effect or something. It's sensitive to light, and so are these snakes, because they don't see the same way. They see in like sound frequencies with their light. So anyway, what happens is it collects in here, and this is something that is no longer really in existence. It's kind of legends of the old days. But he said when he was about 20 something years old, some boy had it in his cloth. It was just, he showed him, it looked like a black stone, like shungai or something like that, obsidian or something, just like a round shiny stone from the cartoon like video that it showed. And then he said that was in the daytime, and then at nighttime, it showed it like it would glow, because the snakes, it would glow from their head, it would project a light, and this light would glow, and these bugs and animals, rodent, whatever, would come, and then it would feast on them, and that they're no longer around. But this guy found a nest and found it in there, and in India they know about these Naga Mundis, whereas in other places they don't really know about their existence because it's a legend. But they do exist, because this boy showed it, and it was glowing at nighttime, almost like bioluminescence or something. Like, that's what it reminded me of. Like in the sea, you would see like little animals, like, or little sea creatures, luminous, or like little flies in the air. Sometimes you see them, they're green, or in Russia they'll be blue, or wherever they'll be a different color. But like, yeah, so these Naga Mundis, if you find a stone like this, you should hold on to it. Like, he didn't want to give it away, because then he's going to become a king. Back then, there were many kings in India. It wasn't just one king, like a king of Thailand or something like that. There were many kings. So anyway, it's supposed to bring you, like, you're so powerful, you have this kingship about you, and this stone, and stones can possess that, and something from a reptilian, especially snakes, are known to possess different qualities about them and for being out of this world. Yes, there's been Nagas known from other lokas, which are worlds. That's the loka means world. So there's been them teachers come out of the sea or wherever, out of the sky that were snake-like, either in part or in whole, who were teachers, and that gave things like alien technology and stuff like that throughout time. But yeah, so that's what the mundi is. It's like the third eye of a snake, of a cobra. It
Wow.
rarely exists in today's day and age. So
Wow.
yeah.
No, that's interesting. Yeah, I was just looking this up. More about syncretism here, and like, his final thoughts on in syncretism? What does he? Where does he think it leads us to? Like enlightenment or something? Or like,
Of course. Where do you want to go? Are you trying to go to the moon? I, I think the rishis, are they the ones that, like, where do you want to go? Like, there's so many different world systems. There's so many different planets. There's so many different, you can even, like, in Hinduism, they create their own gods sometimes, like, and they create their own worlds. Some say this is Vishnu's world, that his dream that he dreamt up, and we're part of this dream, just a simulation, just one simulation possibility out of how many timelines, like, so who knows? This world just gets crazier and crazier, or just wilder the more I learn. It just it's mind-boggling.
yeah, I agree. I agree. Like, it is like, so what are like some practical steps people can take to apply syncretism in their daily lives? Would it be something like observing like lunar and solar cycles, spiritual detox, studying astrology or sacred geometry, or like all of the above?
Absolutely, all of the above. Like, and you hit it when you were talking about the cosmos and about the sun and the moon, like hatha yoga, hatha, like sun and moon yoga. Like, and a lot of the yoga books, and I was just talking to my mom about this in Rishikesh, where the rishis are, like the holy, like the septar rishis, those seven highest rishis when the
What
Buddha
is a
got here.
septar rishi?
Okay, so sept, like seven in Latin, like September, like seventh month. Sept is, so there were seven people when the Buddha sat down, just to sit down. I'm trying to think, who was it? Was it Babaji? Was Buddha? A holy man sat down to just meditate, and like several, like almost a month later, there's seven people still sitting there. Huge crowds of people came because they would. Like Sadhguru, when he sat down days later and when he woke up, there were so many people, there were crowds of people, because it happens sometimes when people go into meditation. I've seen one person go into deep meditation like that, where we had to get her out. But so these Septar Rishis, Baby Babaji taught them everything, everything. So they went all the way up into like the cosmic wave of existence. Like literally, they can go in and out, where they're just at a very, very high, high level. Like a Rishi is like a great teacher, like a very high person level of existence. Like Rishikesh, the city, that's one of the holy cities in India. It's completely vegetarian. Like Santos Bonacci is very about not just vegetarianism, veganism, because back then in Plato's day, they didn't have vegan, although they were mostly, but it was just called vegetarianism. So anyway, so these Septar Rishis, these seven holy men, they learn everything, and yeah, you can connect with these gurus, and you can connect with the Babaji, you can connect with Sadhguru, with whoever you want to connect with. Some people say that maybe somebody's bad because of this or that. Like, I've heard negative things about some of these holy people, whether it's a Septar Rishi, or whether it's Sadhguru, or whether it's Dalai Lama, or whoever it is. And I can agree that there's negative things about them. And I've met enlightened people at different meditation centers and places around the world. And they all have things where they're not perfect. They're not at like everybody. They have to have something that's holding them to this earth. It has to be some vice, or something that keeps them here. Some desire, anything. So we just have to see the God within them, and rather than just everything, like take the good, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's so well said. That's so well said. Um, and let's see what else we're going to talk about. How you? So you were able to travel the world. Like, did that? Do you think that gave you a different? Was that kind of what shaped your perspective on like the way you look at like spirituality and some of these alternative concepts?
Sure. So, like, absolutely. So, I've lived in or traveled in 30 different countries. And I would say about a quarter of my life I've lived abroad, something like that, outside of the US. Um, and I'm a dual UK US citizen. But I grew up in different places. So, like in Singapore, I was about 11, 12 years old, something like that. When I lived there, one day we would be at a Hindu temple with some family members, and maybe one of them, one cousin might be the same cousin, and I'll be with other cousins or whatever. You know, my cousin brothers and sisters, there's so many of them there. And we'll be at a Christian church the next day, you know? So and we'll just walk around and go to the other temples because some of them, it might be Malay or Chinese or something that we wouldn't really regularly go to, but we would just walk around into wherever and go into different places of worship and just check them out, you know? Like, just as kids, there's nothing to do. It's one of the safest countries in the world. You can just walk around, and that's what they do there. It's just a small island. So, yeah, I would definitely say, so I was learning about different religions, even though I was Christian back then, because my father converted when he was 13 from Hindu to Christian. He had a tutor. But most of his family was Hindu growing up, and then they're all everything. There's Buddhist, there's Christian, there's everything. But yes, definitely meditating for a month at a time at a meditation center, that can change you. And then doing that every other month, working online, teaching or whatever, and then doing another meditation center somewhere else or whatever, just doing that or just doing it by myself, like just going to an island and just, there could be a little temple or just go myself, Absolutely, it changes you. Absolutely. And everywhere there's different types of meditations. You get different teachings, whether it's Dharma talks or whatever. It just opens your mind to so much. And it just makes you see how that, like, it's literally everything's all connected. It doesn't matter which way you want to go. That's why if you ask, like, if you're like a Muslim and asking Sadhguru, do I need to change to Hinduism? And no, follow your own religion. If you're a Christian and asking Dalai Lama, do I need to change to Buddhism? No, follow your own religion because it doesn't matter. You can get there from anyway, So just whatever you want to do, like, um, and there's different levels to it, and there's like in Christianity you can see a lot of the astrotheology. Like Micah Dank will take you through the Bible and show you the astrotheology in it. Santos Bonacci will show you the syncretism and everything, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of astrotheology in the Bible, but it's multidimensional, so unless, who knows how to read it, like so but yeah, I would definitely say it has given me, and coming from an international family and growing up all over the world, like when I was in Singapore, I lived with my Singaporean auntie and my Malaysian uncle, and we have family from all over the world, so it definitely changes one's perspective. And I literally saw from my siblings growing up and some of them moving at different times to different countries how it changed them staying in America. I'm I'm actually street. Tell him I'll call him back in about half an hour. Thank you. Yeah. Um. Yeah. We're finishing up. I think we were just gonna go an hour. I haven't checked the time, but I'm guessing we're pretty close. But does that answer your question, Rob?
Yeah, we've only been going 34 minutes, but if you need to
Oh
go,
yeah.
we can stop. It's no
No.
big deal.
No. No. Not at all. Not at all. No. No.
Okay. Let me see here. Seeing what else we could talk about.
Yeah,
Mm,
so let's how about we mention the full disclosure conference. So full disclosure conference is coming up in about 2 weeks from now. There's a countdown on there on the website. And yeah, and so I'm going to be there, so I'm excited about it. And I know Rob's still working out how getting the funds for getting down there, and we need him to be down there. So let's all try to figure out how to make that happen. If you want to support his trip to the full disclosure, you can do that. And do you want to mention something about what you're going to be doing there, Rob, and what your plans are for while at the full disclosure?
Well, I mean, Brian said if I go, Brian said I'm going to be maybe partly emceeing the event, and he said I'm also going to be he said I'm also going to be part of the live stream team again, which he had me on last year. I just like helped out last year, and I went around with the camera and I did live interviews. I interviewed some of the vendors, some of the speakers, for the live stream. And Jason just posted it. And what we're going to do is we're going to share the screen and we're going to show the website. So, and guys, I have a coupon code. It's in the description. So I'm going to put, before I show the website, I'll put in a coupon code. You can get 17% off your ticket. And then you can also get, where is it? You can use my, my GoFundMe's in there as well, but yeah. But it's probably better just to donate with PayPal, to be honest. I'll share my PayPal if you want to donate. But I will share the link for the tickets because, let me see here. If anybody wants, yeah, and I have a nice lady, by the way. I have a nice lady from across overseas who wants to help me with my travel. So I have that. So I just got to get a hold of. I know Brian said he might be able to help me a little bit, but I'm still waiting to get a hold of him because I need to book my room, or if I decide to go with Gina or whatever. I mean, I either way, I'm going to go, or I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to do this, it's stressful for sure. I'll tell you that. It has been very stressful. I'll be honest. So let's see here. So I should be sharing my screen now, and we're going to show the conference website. You guys should be able to see it now. Can you see my screen, Amy?
Yeah. Now I can.
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, this year they have over 30 speakers, and we'll go over all the speakers. They have SSP, Secret Space Program, MyLab, military abduction survivors, ET contactees, and ET abductees, leading What's that?
Oh, I was just going to say you can still see the comment if you want to take it so you can see the speakers on there.
The leading researchers, investigators. Oh, okay. Okay, let me take it off the screen. Hold on. Hold on. Let me hold on. I'll just put up shit. What is going on here? I can't get the comment down. Amy, did Amy freeze, guys? What's going on here?
No, I'm here. I'm here. Am I frozen? I'm here. Hi.
You were frozen. Yeah, that's the targeting.
Yeah,
they're gonna do this. That's why they want the comment go down.
Yeah, they're not letting it go down. Just skip it.
It's
Maybe put your PayPal up so people can see that if you're going to leave a comment up, Just so you can.
So you should still be able to see the screen. So we got Brad Olson. A lot of these guys you've seen on my podcast, at least, especially these first three: Brad Olson, Miles Johnson, and James Bartley. I'm excited to meet. I met Miles last year, but I'm excited to meet Brad and James Bartley. They've both been on my show a lot. All three of them have been on my show a lot. Yemi Janae, remote viewer from the Farside Institute. Yemi's amazing. I met her last year. Rion DeRuin, he had the best presentation last year. He's amazing. Laura Eisenhower, you guys know I consider Laura a really good friend. The granddaughter of Dwight D. Eisenhower. Complex. Sean Charles Moyen, super soldier. He's been on my show a bunch of times. He hasn't been on recently, but Sean Bon and Issa are going to be there. You guys know Sean Bon and Issa. They're amazing. They're doing trips to Mexico. They're finding ET artifacts, and they do readings on my show, and they do readings on other shows. They do quantum healing, etheric tech, multidimensional consciousness. Christopher and Joanna Jacobs, similar thing. They're leading the sacred opening ceremony with high vibrational attunement, energy clearing, and multidimensional protection. Co-founders of the interstellarcouncil.com, and they're also co-founders of the lifting.com, where they're similar. And Matthew Morning is going to be there. So like all these three people, like Sean Bond, Christopher Jacobs, and Matthew Morning, they all do energy work. They're all energy healers and energy workers. Penny Bradley, everybody knows Penny. SSP veteran, and Jessica Jones, the Cryptid Huntress. I love Jessica. She's awesome. Antonia, wow, I haven't met her yet, but I'm excited to meet her. It says she's a metaphysical teacher, master energy healer. Drago Reed. Drago was just on my show the other day. He's a super soldier and QHHT practitioner. Paul Cheryl Abagast. I've had her on my show. She's alternative health, and she's a pioneer in energy medicine using Tesla-inspired tech for deep healing. Samuel Chong, he's bridging galactic prophecy and Earth's awakening. He rewrote the Tiuba prophecy, and he translated it into Chinese. Sarah Adams is going to be there, guys. I think I told you guys this the other day. Sarah Adams was the ex-girlfriend of the great Max Spears. Who was a huge part to our community. You don't know the secret space program. I've had him on my show. He's a really cool guy. Time sex engineering. Derek and Daniel DeSteven, grandsons of Daniel Salter. He was at a cosmic level of clearance, and they're disclosure pioneers. Soma Ara, Pleiadian Channel and Galactic Lightworker. Nathan Sizek, my good friend Nate. He's the host of the Planetary Consciousness Project. He's a MyLab whistleblower. And he's a disclosure advocate. Gina Virginia Casella, transformational healer and shamanic guide, found the Dragon Dreams book series. She wrote 8 books, and she does gemstone readings. Alondra Markman, healer, guide, and Montauk survivor. Oh, I've had Alondra on my show. She's pretty amazing. Christy Campbell, everybody knows Christy. Montauk Project, Secret Space Program. And, Micah Dank, astrotheologist and author. Long's going to be there. Reiki master and SSP experiencer, targeted individual. Nate Gray, MyLab and human mutation witness. Nate lost his YouTube channel as well. Sue Whitaker, Ascension Guide and Galactic Federation emissary. Michael Koff, visionary DJ and galactic technologist. Let's see, disclosure panelist. Veronica Bartolini, host of Codebreaker Talks. Audrey Walters, host of Starseed Netlink, author of Space School Lessons Volume 1. Audrey's been on my show a bunch of times. Kate Trinity Rose, Soul Midwife and Galactic Remembrance Guide. I haven't met her yet. I'm excited to talk to her and meet her too. Trevor Grassi, experience and panel contributor. Michael Koff. Let me see here. There's 2 Michael Koffs, I guess. I don't know. Because he says he's the MC of the Solar Stage. Sybil Haynes, honored guest and supporter of the movement. Everybody knows Sybil's Secret Space Program, Substack. Stella Rose, creative alchemist and workshop. There's so many people. Zachary and Sue Fisher, organizers of Day of Being. They're amazing people. I met Zach last year. He's a really nice guy. And Sue, they're amazing people. Brian Singh, the Solar Bee host, and then Ida Farhide. I love Ida. Ida's an awesome person. She's the co-producer and she's an energy work specialist. So here's where you buy your tickets, guys. Use that code. They have special VIP tickets. You can get a virtual pass. You can get a live stream pass, a 4-day live stream pass for $144. And then you can get day passes and meal passes here. And then you can also, I haven't booked my room yet, I'm going to go, because, and that's pretty much it, my light went out. But, that's pretty much it. So it should be, it should be interesting. I might ride the train. It'll be 30 hours there on the train. Because I don't want to fly. I'm afraid to fly, honestly. With what's going on in the world. Like I don't know.
I get it. It's a lot, especially getting stuck at airports. I've been stuck at airports before a bunch of times. Like during COVID, I got stuck at airports and different times. So I get it.
Or maybe I will fly. I don't know. Do you think it's pretty safe to fly, though? Would you say?
Yeah, I think it's safe
I mean,
enough. I mean, it's within the country, like you're not going that far. You're over land rather than a sea. You're not crossing a big ocean or something. So, if you need an emergency landing or something, and I mean, more than likely it's a short flight. You can probably find a direct flight. I would think it'd be fine. So,
yeah.
and okay, and I see that Jason wrote to use your code 2025 FDNC Robert 17 at checkout to get 17% off your ticket. So, so a lot of these people from the conference, they've pretty much, most of the people have, Vanna's saying to take the Greyhound, Rob. I just heard.
Well, I'm not taking the Greyhound. Crazy shit goes down on the Greyhound.
Exactly.
Theo Vaughn did a whole video about it. The Greyhound's hilarious. I put that I put some, a playlist together of some of the funniest Theo Vaughn and Joey Diaz videos because those guys crack me up. They're my absolute favorite comedians of all time. Like, if you ask me who are my two favorite comedians, I mean, obviously, I like some old Richard Pryor and I like Eddie Murphy, old Eddie Murphy before he started making like all kinds of movies. But even his movies are, his new movies are good. But I like Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, I like Martin Lawrence. And then I like, as far as like podcast comedians, I like, Joey Diaz and Theo Vaughn, and I would say that's my top favorite comedians. I don't know what made me think of that, I mean, I just, I guess because Vaughn said about the Greyhound and Theo Vaughn was talking about, the Greyhound and like the shit that goes on the Greyhound. It's pretty wild, So, yeah. But,
that video you sent me with the foil hat? What's that guy's name?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Weird Al. Is that one of your favorite comedians too? Because you sent me his video and he's a comedian.
I didn't send you Weird Al, did I?
Yeah, that's how I knew how to wear a foil hat. I thought.
I don't. I maybe. He has one video that's good. Like Weird Al's okay, but I mean, he's he's kind of yeah. He has a conspiracy song where he kind of predicted a lot of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the one exactly.
Yeah.
And he wears a hat in it, and he's like, "Oh, wear a hat." Which, guys, if you guys get headaches, put a foil hat on, an ice bottle with a cloth. Like I'll wrap it up. Literally, I have it here. I used it as a napkin for my nose or something, but I put 2 paper towels and then a rubber band and freeze. After I freeze it and then put it on me on my heart, but on my head, and a foil hat wrapped around with the shiny part on the outside. It makes a huge difference with targeting with the frequencies. I don't know if you can hear it outside, but literally it's reshaped my head so it pops out larger. And it definitely, like, I picked my brain from the astral parasites, which it's still all in there. The targeting is real, guys. It's very real. But that's another coping mechanism that maybe people don't know about. And I learned that from somebody on Big O Live. Someone said that their father uses it and it helps them with the frequencies. And then I heard Weird Al in a song that Rob sent me, which you did send it on Instagram. I'll have to show you.
Yeah, it was probably a long time ago, I think, or like, yeah, I know what I sent you. I remember it's a song that where he was talked about a lot of like conspiracy stuff a long time ago, and a lot of it came true. You know what I mean? That's probably why I sent that. I think he was really ahead of his time, Weird Al.
Really?
He's a weirdo, but he's definitely ahead of his time. Like, yeah, I don't know.
He's a comedian, though, right?
Yeah, he's a comedian. Yeah. So Michelle Petros wants to know. So you wear an aluminum? Like, Yeah, aluminum foil, Michelle, like a
Yeah.
tinfoil hat. Didn't you ever hear the term tinfoil hat, Michelle? Like, it's literally a tinfoil hat. You take tinfoil and form it into a hat and put it on your head. Like, and that's what they call conspiracy theorists, tinfoil hat wearers. That's where that came from. It's like but there's actually some validity to the fact that it works for some things.
Oh yeah. Back in
I'm
the
not
day, they
sure if
would.
it blocks out frequencies. But yeah,
It does
yeah.
block
So
frequencies. And how
yeah,
you shape it changes how it works too. Because with these astral parasites, when I shaped it in conical shape going up, it literally, I would have things growing, like crystallized stuff growing out of my brain, like crystals coming upwards when it was
are you
conical shape.
serious?
And I'd fall, yeah, yeah. I put some
Wow.
like coconut oil or something on there. I'll put aloe vera. I can show you. I still have them. It's still, I never had them before I met you. Like, and I never had those jolt things before Santos Bonacci showed me the itch video. Well, he made the itch video, like literally, like we were talking about this a while and I was like, tell the public. And he finally did in that video. But he would show, like I would see it sometimes when we would be talking just on Skype or video, whatever. And it's like, he'd be shocking like this. And now they do it to me. They shock me inside. But, and like Lana had something, like depending, everybody that I meet that's targeted, they literally pick up other people's targeting and then use it on me. Like, they're like, oh, well, let's do that to her. I'm
Do
not
they do
kidding.
they target your techno? They target my techno. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Ken from We Are One podcast. Ken's a really good friend of mine. He's in the audience. Hey Ken, good to see you. I like Ken a lot. Yeah. We used to do a lot of podcasts together. He's you know yeah. Yeah, Kaysen came up with a good quote here. He says, or a good fact here. He says, tinfoil hat is invented by a dude who's assassinated after appearing on Jesse Ventura's conspiracy show. I didn't know that. That's awesome. You know, yeah. Jason says about the thing, Faraday is the idea. Yeah, you want to get into a Faraday cage. You want to make your body around like a Faraday cage so you block frequencies and you block stuff. Jason has it right. Faraday is the idea. Yeah, like I know it's hard to believe, guys, that people are targeted like this, but it really is happening. And I don't know who's doing it. It's really bizarre. I mean, it's bad enough we live in a world where there's chemicals in the air, in the sky. There's chemicals in the food and water. You know what I mean? Like the weather's being terraformed, weather manipulation. You know what I mean? Now they're targeting people. You know what I mean? Plus, I mean, that's not even to factor in like the alien contact experiences and the military abductions. You know what I mean? That are happening. And people are forced into these black ops programs. It's a lot to deal with. That's why if I was involved in those programs, I would never even want to know. And people say I have been, but I have no clue, and I don't even want to know because I don't think I could deal with it. I don't think I could. You know. Yeah.
Like military programs you're talking about, or what
Yeah.
program?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to know. I would just want to. I just want to continue living my life and doing what I'm doing. I don't need more trauma. I've had enough 3D trauma. I've had enough Earth 3D trauma to deal with, let alone extraterrestrial trauma or interdimensional or galactic. Yeah, my lab stuff. I can't. Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't even know about that stuff. Like, I'm so new to this community. Like, even though I've had so much targeting, and like, you're like, oh, you're good with healing remedies and this and that. Yeah, well, I've had to be. I've had so much targeting. So, which detox, Santos will tell you, and other people, like, it's such a big deal, And so, for that's a big thing too, guys. If you're in this community and being targeted, just keep detoxing your body like crazy. That. Do you feel like that helps too, Rob? Like doing a lot of detoxing.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. You can do like liver and gallbladder cleanses and stuff like that. That definitely helps. Like you can do a lot of stuff. You can do parasite cleanses, heavy metal detoxes. Some people get the foot baths. You know, people are saying that they've been getting the foot baths that then they've been seeing black stuff come out of their feet. You know, which is supposedly nanotechnology or some kind of, you know, graphene or whatever. You know, like I don't know, like yeah.
What foot baths are these? Is this like activated charcoal, or like you put like a poultice overnight? I did something like that just recently, from a Barbara O'Neill thing, because I have so many bites. If you look at my feet, it's not a good situation, and bruises and stuff. I mean, the targeting's really bad. But
Yeah.
is that what you're talking about, or what bath, foot bath, are you talking about?
Yeah. Michelle says those things turn black even if you don't put your feet in. I wonder why. I wonder.
Air
So
candles do work some.
what's the what's why are people using ear candles? I've never heard of that.
To get it draws out the wax. It draws it out when it burns. It like extracts it. It goes in there and it pulls out the wax. But you have to do some. I think you're supposed to do some oiling, like warm oil, like heated oils, like for some days to loosen it up first, and then that kind of helps dry it out. I don't know, but I just went to the ear doctor, and it's very different from in England because um, like basically, like here when I did it, they just said my range was normal. So I said, oh well, that means that my hearing must have decreased. And they said, no, that's normal. That's the only range. In England, they told me my hearing's off the charts because I hear so hypersensitive. And it sucks because they're using frequencies that other people don't even hear, that maybe a kid can hear, because my hearing's still at that level. And it's not good because they target me using that. But in America, they don't even test like that. They won't even test you to know your whole range. They just test the average range. It's very different the way they, um, anyway. But so I'm going through it right now because they're using frequencies, and I just used this massage little device this morning before I even got out of bed to massage my whole face and area right here. The poison's bloated my whole face like it regularly does because they put it through the vents pretty much every night and day. And the massage thing, it literally it helps some. So literally massaging it too. I don't know. I'm just, I've used the elephant ear water netty thing. I've tried so many different things, but ear candles definitely do get some of the wax out, and I do recommend them. In fact, I just did one, and I'm ready to do another one. So yeah, I would recommend them. If you want to try them out, see if it works for you. Order them
Yeah.
online. Yeah.
Well, I guess this is pretty good. If uh, yeah, the iconic foot bath. Yeah, Journey to Authenticity says it says it helped her with the inflammation. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Well, I guess that's it for today. I mean, I wanted to go an hour because I got to do some work. I got to get some guests for July. I have hardly nobody scheduled for July. Somehow I always do this, and then I always end up with like 60 people. I'll probably message like 180 to 200 people tonight about coming on for July. Just because I figure if you get like a third of those people, then you have your 60 you need for, 2 shows a day. But, I got to figure in that if I'm going to be gone for full disclosure now and how that's going to factor in, because I'm not doing shows on those days. If I'm going to be at the conference, I'll do shows from the conference, but yeah, so I don't know. If anybody wants to come on the show, message me and we'll set something up. I'm going to start looking, I'm going to start booking people for July, not tonight, so yeah. And did you have anything you want to promote, Amy, or anything like that?
Um, yeah, actually, Michelle and I will be doing a dream decode. We're planning on doing it on Big O Live this morning, actually, but we're trying to do it for 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, different days, um, just whenever we can do it. And we haven't really started it up yet. Her technology was been acting up, but if you're interested, just follow my channels and This is Michelle. This is actually one of Rob's moderators, I think, right? She's one of your Rob
Yeah,
moderators.
yeah. She's a moderator. The
Yeah.
Earth Grid Rescue Mission. The Earth Grid Rescue Mission. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and Rob may be wanting to join in on that. We'll see. So, we're just getting that started, and that will be like decoding dreams, just like it says. So, I do want to promote my link tree, but I don't have the link tree name, which will have my other websites and stuff. But for now, I think the main promotion for today, what we're trying to promote is Rob getting to the conference, and somebody on the chat was asking where it is. It's fulldisclosure.live. Thanks, Jason, for putting it on there. And that is the website that you guys can go to, and you can use Rob's discount code. And also, just if you want to put your link up there one more time so people can give a donation. Thank you guys for listening with us and hanging out with us. And I look forward to meeting you all in St. Pete, Florida at the conference. And Rob, too, I look forward to meeting you in person because I feel like we've gotten to know each other so much on the phone and on podcasts and stuff. It'll be nice to meet you in person. So I'm excited about that, too.
Yeah, and it will be fun. We've talked so much. I mean, you've kept me company on so many of my walks. You know what I mean? I'll go for a walk and I'll just call it. We'll bullshit for like 2 hours. Like that's cool.
I love it.
Yeah. So okay, Amy. I'll see you soon. And maybe I'll talk to you tonight. And I'll see everyone soon. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what I have scheduled for tomorrow, but I know I have a video I did today I haven't put out yet, so I'll be releasing that tomorrow at least, and then I'm going to try to book someone for a live show. I think I have one live show tomorrow, so yeah, and thank you, everyone, and take care. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.